This is Greg Helbeck, and today I'm going to do a real estate deal breakdown on a rental property that just did the last part of the BRRRR on, which is the refinance. And I'm going to talk about how this was actually a true BRRRR because it's harder to do that nowadays. So if you are interested in that, this is the video or the podcast to listen to or watch. If you're on YouTube and you get value from this, do me a favor, like the video, subscribe to my channel. If you're listening to this on audio, if you can share this with someone else and post it on social media, it would mean a lot to me. That's how we're growing the show on a consistent weekly basis. So this was a rental I bought back in October, and I ended up paying cash for the property. And then I refinanced with a hard money lender like a week later. And then I ended up just doing a refinance with permanent financing on a DSCR loan. So I'm going to give you the numbers on this thing and tell you how it actually was a true BRRRR. So before we get into that, I'm going to define the true BRRRR. A true BRRRR is when you buy a property at such a discount and there's so much equity there, just built-in equity, you can actually get all of your money out of the deal when you do the long-term refinance and be in the deal for zero. That's a true BRRRR deal. So anyway, way that we found the property was through direct mail. We mailed the predictive data list and ended up getting one seller who had 3 condos. I bought 2 of them. My partner Brett bought one of them. One of them was a 1-bed, one of them was a 2-bed. This was the 2-bed property. I got the property for $132,500, which is a smoking price considering the current value as is $260,000. So I bought it $130,000 of basically free equity. So I bought it, closed on it with cash. Hard money lender gave me 90% of my basis in terms of the purchase hard money refinance. So I was out of pocket at that point. $15,000. It was about 15 grand of my own money after I got the money back from the reef. No big deal. It was already a tenant inside paying $19.50 a month, so I didn't have to worry about that. Great tenant, awesome guy. And I was like, all right, now I'm just going to sit on this property for, 3, 4, 5 months and then do a refinance. So I ended up reaching out to a DSCR lender, which is basically a lender who's willing to give you a loan on a rental property on a 30-year fixed term if the rental property cash flows. That's the main thing they look for. They look for, does the property collect more in rent than it costs in expenses? And if it does, they'll give you a loan for it. They don't look at your tax returns. They don't look at any of that bullshit. They look at your credit, but that's important no matter what. Anyway, go to refinance. Big pain in the ass with this lender. I'm not going to lie. Anytime you can do a refinance, it's a pain in the ass. I'm just going to warn you right now. If you're going to be in the rental business, you're getting loans or refinancing or whatever the case is, you're going to have to provide a bunch of paperwork. There's a lot of underwriting, but it's worth it. So anyway, go through the process. I actually thought the loan was going to die on the vine because we had some bottleneck where the HOA and there was this inspection report and there was just this whole giant pain in the ass. We ended up getting around it and coming up with a solution, getting the loan closed. So I just got the wire yesterday. It was a little bit more than 20 grand. I have 15K in the deal. So I actually got paid $5,000 to own this rental property, which is awesome. And the rental property produces more in gross rent than it costs in total expenses. So I believe I'm in for, I think I get $1,950 in rent. I think my all-in payment with the HOA now is about $1,800. So it makes $150 a month. But the good thing is that I have none of my own money in this deal now. This is a true none of your own money real estate deal because I used my money to buy it. And then I got most of my money out when I refinanced with the hard money lender on the short-term debt. And then when I went to do the refinance, this was a cash out refinance. I ultimately was able to get paid $5,000 to own this rental, and I'm only in the thing for 60% loan to value. So the total loan I have on this property is 60% of the value. So I still have 40% equity, and I got $5,000 in my pocket plus my basis back. So I got 20 grand. I can use that for the next rental property, and it's amazing. So what are some lessons you can learn from this deal that you can apply in your business? Well, number one, if you can buy deals deep enough, you can actually keep doing these true BRRRRs and just keep recycling that money you originally used to buy the property. So I can take that 20 grand, I can use it for the next rental property because I was able to buy it deep enough to get all my money back on the refinance so I can rinse and repeat. Now, I'll tell you the truth here. Most rental properties nowadays with the high interest rates, if you're watching this, I'm recording this in 2025, it's very hard to do the true BRRRR because even if you can get all your money out, most likely it's not going to cash flow with the interest rates. But in this case, this was a 2-bedroom townhouse. So it was able to cash flow because the rent is pretty high compared to even the value of the building. But in this case, we weren't really looking at the value of the building. We were looking at like, if we get a loan for $160,000 minus the closing cost of 10 grand, we're really at 150, but the loan is still for 160. The payment is still low enough compared to the rent where it does cash flow and I got all my money out. So it's a win-win situation, but that's not normal. Most of the time, the truth is you're going to have to leave some money in these BRRRR deals. You got to leave 10, 20, 30 grand in these deals. And usually it's worth it because the tip I'll give you is that let's say you got to leave 30 grand into a rental, right? Let's just say you got to do that. And let's say the property makes, $500 a month profit times 12. So let's say it makes 6 grand a year in net cash flow and you're in for $30,000. You're making a 20% cash on cash return, which is sure damn better than the stock market. And you get all the benefits of owning real estate like appreciation, depreciation, debt pay down, tax benefits, the whole 9 yards. So in my opinion, even if you still got to leave money in these deals, and I've done tons of deals where I had to leave money into them, if you look at your cash on cash return and it still makes sense, it's worth keeping. So that is the property over in Wappingers Falls, REI deal breakdown. It was a good deal. I have another condo I got to refinance, and I got another condo I got to refinance, and then I got another condo that I'm buying. I'm just buying with a straight mortgage off the bat. So rentals are a great business. And if you are in the Hudson Valley or you're in the Seattle area or you're in Delaware, you have a house you want to wholesale to me, I would love to buy another deal. I love buying deals from wholesalers if the numbers make sense. Send me an email, greg@velocityhousebuyers.com or grego37 on Instagram. And I'll see you on the next REI deal breakdown. Take care.